All right, can you all hear me? Emmanuel?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, sir.
All right, great. Let me share. Okay. All right. My colleague Samuel had touched on virtually everything that needs to be discussed. I just need to emphasize on one or two things, answer some of your questions before you ask them, and also take questions. So like you said, Labs by Bincom is a 3 to 6 month program right now. I'm sure you'll be wondering why 3 to 6 months? Why not just go, is it 3 months, is it 6 months? All right. So in Labs by Bincom, we have 3 stages, actually 4 stages. You pass the first stage, which is the preliminary session. You are in the onboarding session, which is the beginning of stage 1. All right. So each stage has its own responsibility to do. All right. I hope Ngozi joins us before we finish this. So each stage has its own milestone, what you are required to achieve at the end of each stage. All right. So stage 1 at the end of the day is about 3 to 4 weeks. All right. And what you are required to achieve. Let me just share my screen so that you can see this. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Oh, no, you can see us. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Fantastic. All right, great. Okay, so like I said, each stage has its own responsibility. So in stage 1, this is where you come up with your project or product brief, meaning whatever you'll be working on, whatever you'll be building, what it's all about. This is the stage where you sort that out. Of course, you have to carry your mentor along the line at every single stage. Have schedule meetings with your mentor, conversate with him, share your ideas with him. All right. And of course, by the end of stage 1, you should have a product brief. Let me repeat, at the end of stage 1, you are required to have a product brief, meaning details of what your product is all about, the problem it's solving, how you're going to build it, what you're going to build, etc., etc., etc. Of course, your mentor is there to handhold you, right, along the way. All right. So our advice, you make use of your team mentor appropriately. All right. Do not keep your mentor in the dark as you walk along. At the end of stage 2, which is 1 month also, right? Then you execute the product, your project or the product brief. Remember what my colleague said earlier on, you cannot change your product idea once you have submitted your documents. You cannot change it anymore. And now, why did we say that? So that you won't be discouraged. So that because you face a little challenge, you run back and say, oh, this is too difficult, let's look for something easier. No. We expect you to face the challenge, right? Come to us if you need help. All right, and we would look into our internal teams as what we can do around that. But we do not expect your team to, chicken out because you faced any challenge. So we would not accept a situation where you want to change your idea after you submitted. So at the end of stage 2, you are to work on your project, right, or your product or your startup. Right? I'm using different terms here so that you can understand your project, your product, or your startup, right? By the end of stage 2, we expect you to have created it. Either you are creating an app, you are creating a website, you are creating a web app, you are creating an extension, you are creating a tool, whatever. You are creating a mini WordPress, you are creating a mini Jumia, you are creating a mini app, you are creating an health app, you are creating whatever. All right. By the end of stage 2, we expect you to have wrapped that up. Now, at the end of stage 3, which is the 3rd month, during this 3rd month, we expect that you test your product out, right? You test it out, you ask people to use it, if you need to run adverts, if you need to get your email list to get people to use it, depending on what your product is, Whatever feedback they give you after stage 3, which is after the 3rd month, we expect that you might need to tweak some things, add some features, remove some features, and the likes, right? Depending on the feedback you get from your users. Are you with me, Manuel? All right. So depending on what you have gotten from the users, you can tweak your product to suit whatever need you've noticed as reason or whatever thing you say, oh, why not do it this way? Why not do it this way? All right. So stage 3 is where you do that. All right. So after stage 3, the remaining 3 months is for you to tweak it. Now, points to note. Have you heard of an incubator program before? Are you familiar with the word incubator program? I'll take that as a no.
Not too well, not too well.
All right, so an incubator program, an example is Y Combinator, right? They help you nurture your startup. They could help you get funding. They could help you, they give you a guideline on how to scale your startup, how to make money with your startup. In fact, depending on the system of the incubator program, they could help you register your products with the appropriate agencies and the likes, all right? So that is what an incubator program is, right? They could help you get funding for your products, all right? So that's the job of an incubator program. Bincom also has something like that. We have an incubator program, all right? But this is a pre-incubator program, meaning at the end of the first 3 months, if you are still tweaking it and you feel you want to enter an incubator program, you have the remaining 3 months to fine-tune your product to apply for incubator programs. That is if you do not want Bincom's incubator program. Or probably, of course, every incubator program has its own, what is it called now? It's yardstick, what your startup needs to meet up to before you'll be allowed in, all right? You can use the remaining 3 months to achieve that, right? Either an external incubator or the Bincom incubator, whichever one you choose, all right? So at the end of 3 months, the remaining 3 months is to fine-tune your product to meet whatever standard you want. So at the end of 6 months, you can then choose, oh, I want to enter Bincom incubator. Oh, I want to enter another incubator program, maybe Y Combinator or any other foreign incubator program. Or, oh, we are not interested in this startup again. We are not sure we'll scale with this. All right, this idea is not tenable or is archaic. I don't think it can work. Or we are not united and I don't think I like the product anymore. Then we'll dissolve the team, but we expect you to have gained knowledge, all right, you have gained experience in building a startup. All right, so I just wanted to emphasize on that, okay? So like I said, like my colleague said, you have mentors, very, very important. Trying to look for that. Yep. Now, your mentor, right? Just to emphasize, your mentor is not helping you build your product. It is not the responsibility of your mentor to build your startup for you. It is the responsibility of the team. However, your mentor is there as a knowledgeable person. In fact, the mentor you'll be assigned to already as a startup, has an experience of building startups. So he's speaking from experience, he's guiding you from experience. So as a team, it is your responsibility to get yourselves together and build the product. Now, what I mean by this is that your mentor will not be the one looking for you to attend a meeting or, oh, where's Emmanuel, where's Ngozi? We need to have a meeting. No, your mentor will not do that. It is your job to schedule appointments with your mentor and say, oh, every Saturday we want to have a meeting with you by 5 p.m. so that we can discuss our product and how our progress reports, what problem challenges we are facing, how can you help us out, what networks do you have that can help us fast track our product building? All right, that is what your mentor is there for. Your mentor will most likely not be your group, right? So your mentor might not be there to instruct you, oh, why not you guys do this? It is your job to, oh, mentor, we have this challenge. How do we solve it? And all that. Am I communicating? All right. Okay. So now there was something my colleague also mentioned, the fact that once you have 3 or less members, once you have less than 3 members, the group will be dissolved. Now there are Few things involved in that. All right. Now we understand that everybody might not be on the same level of seriousness as a team. We understand some people might need to be weeded out. In fact, we don't mind weeding people out because labs like Bincom is for serious-minded people. All right, we know everybody is busy. It's fine. The fact that the person is not serious with the thing does not mean is not a serious person. He might just be busy with a whole lot of other things. It's understandable. All right, the person just does not have time for labs like Bincom, and we can excuse the person. All right. However, that does not mean the serious people, like you said, would have to suffer for it. Labs by your team is open to bringing in new members. It could be a friend. It could be, like I said last week, we have a community in Bincom Tech Network. We have over 1,000 techies on that platform. A lot of them don't mind joining your team, all right, to, I want to be part of this. Now, they can come officially through Labs by Bincom and say, let me register and join your team. All right, so I can do something for this startup or for this product. I can volunteer for it. They can do that voluntarily. All right, and register officially. However, they can do that without being official, quote unquote. Probably, I don't want this labs, whatever. I'll just help you out on my own. Maybe it's a graphics designer. You just need somebody that that will do your UI UX for your app. And just get in and say, don't worry, I don't need to test myself. I don't need to join your labs, but I'll just do it back end. That's fine. All right. So you can bring in new team members. That is why we encourage each team, each individual, network with people. Don't just stay in your channel and say, it's only Manuel I want to talk to. It's only Ngozi I want to talk to. They're my team. Labs by Bincom is created so that you can network with other techies on that platform. Like I said, we have over 1,000. In fact, we have mentors on that platform. All right. So network with people. All right. From now, start networking with people so that you can invite them. Tell them, I have this startup I and a group of people are creating, and we are looking for volunteers for XYZ, back end, front end, UI, UX, etc. All right. Please join our team or volunteer to build this thing together and whatever. You never can tell. You might be the next Antella. You might be the next Paystack. You might be the next Flutterwave. All right. So please network with people. In fact, that is the most important part of Bincom Tech Network. Network with people. Network with your mentor. All right. I was one of the cohorts. Their mentor just texted me and I was like, this group are really fantastic. They are working. How else can I help them to fast track their product building? I was like, if you have a network out people, right, you can introduce them to this team and they can just help them and all that. All right. So that is one of the advantages you get in Labs by Bincom, not just building the startup, but the connection you get here are very, very important. Now, there's one part, right, that I need to finally emphasize on before I entertain questions. All right, we are running out of time. So I said, my colleague said earlier on, all right, you cannot spend more than 100,000 naira. Yeah, that is if you are spending at all, as much as possible within this 3 to 6 months. We don't want you to spend anything. We don't want you to buy domain name, etc. However, at some situations you might need to, if you feel you need to. However, you cannot spend more than 100,000 naira. Right? If you get into the incubator program proper, you can spend as much as you want. However, if you decide to spend money, we will not be funding it in labs. We expect you guys to fix it within yourself. All right. But you cannot even spend more than 100,000 naira if you want to spend at all. Your mentor is there to give you tips or shortcuts on how to get free solutions, credits. You can use a 1 month free trial of some tools, etc. while you build your startup. Please have this in mind when you are setting out. Very, very important. All right. So I think now I want to entertain questions. All right. So let me just touch on this. We have a curriculum. It is compulsory that you follow this curriculum. Compulsory. In fact, you have 2 months to finish it up. The link will be dropped on your Slack channel. Please, this is one of the ways we'll be tracking serious and unserious members. Please do that. No, like I said, you can bring in new team members. into your team to work with you, you are open to do that. Friends, somebody, if for example, Emmanuel is a developer, I'm sure you have other network of techies that you feel, oh, this guy is interested in startup, or this guy is good, it might really be of value to my team. Why not join us and all that? Please feel free to do that. Okay, I think that is all for now. So Emmanuel, I don't know if you have any questions before.
Mine is just on what you just mentioned, the courses. You you guys are really emphasizing on it, and I noticed that there are quite a number of courses. So I just want to know, when you say complete, are we supposed to like read every course in this? Are we supposed to?
Yes. Okay. So we have 3 parts. It's like I said, it's free. The Technical Digital Academy is free. All right. So there are 5 parts to it. So we expect, that's why we give a gap, a space of 2 months to achieve this. We expect you to go it stage by stage. So the truth is, each of these courses, they play a major role in helping you understand how to build a startup. And in fact, after you build a startup, how to get funding, what to do, how to create a team, how to build a team, how to market your product, how to sell it, etc. All right. This training course cuts across all this startup process. So that is why it's very important you go through it. All right. Even not for this current startup, for whatever startup you might be part of an organization in the future, this training program or these training courses play a major role in informing you of what you need to know about startup building generally. All right. I don't know if you have any questions.
No, not at the moment. But if we have questions as time goes on, where and how do we direct it? On the Slack channel?
Yeah. All right. So if you have questions, you have two options or 2 outlets to ask your question. Either via your mentor,
okay,
or on Slack channel. Right. Okay. Those are the 2 avenues. We don't know where Ngozi is. Hopefully she joins probably your next meeting. All right. You can reach out to her on Slack. It's just the 2 of you. I don't know if the 3rd person too will be interested, but we would monitor if we find out that obviously I'll assume you most likely be the team lead for your team now. All right. Pending if any other decision is made concerning that. All right. So this is the first 2 months. We expect over the next 1 to 2 weeks, you inform us if either of your 2 other members are not catching up. They are not interested, they are not attending meetings, you call out to them on Slack and they're not responding. All right. We would expect you to come to us and say, even on Slack, or you can send a DM to any one of us. You don't want it to be public. To say, oh, so and so person is not responding. So it's our job to step in and say, okay, this person, you need to leave. All right. But have it in mind that you might need to also get other people. Sorry, give me a moment. You might need to get other people out. Other volunteers are interested to join you in Labs for Bincom also. Like I said, you're open to that. I don't know if you understand.
Yes, I do.
All right. All right. So in case you get another person that is interested in Labs, please ask the person if he wants to join officially or wants to just work with your team independently. If the person wants to join officially, just let us know on Slack. We'll take it up from there.
Okay.
All right. All right. Thank you, Emmanuel.
This recording is available on YouTube, right?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Samuel.
All right. So the link to this course will be put on your Slack channel between now and Monday. All right. So just stay close to your Slack channel to monitor things as we go on. All right. All right. Thank you, Emmanuel.
Thank you.